Hello, I'm so excited to be here live. Are you ready to learn the top 5 decluttering mistakes? These are mistakes that kept me messy for way longer than I needed to be. Like I was making all of these mistakes, and most people are. So I'm going to break them down for you live. And then, of course, I'm going to answer all your questions. Oh, I see so many amazing people here. Lisa says, it's a good day for a great day, Lisa. It sure the heck is. And here's my promise to you. Today, you're going to spend some time with me and I'm going to get you motivated and you are going to have a cleaner, tidier home today. Are you ready? Let's jump in to the top mistakes. First one, sorting first. Stop it. When I first started organizing, I read Julie Morgenstern's book. It was amazing. Sorry, though, Julie, the space method stinks. And what's really embarrassing about this is I teach a course on how to get organized. And I literally was teaching, I'm still teaching the space method. The space method is like sort and then purge and then assign a home and then contain and then evaluate. And it's actually like awesome in theory. But the reality is, if you have a really messy space or a lot of stuff, as soon as we take a big mess and start sorting into lots of categories, number one, we're sorting things we don't even need or like because our brain's just worried about what category this should go in. And next, now we've given it like meaning and purpose by putting it in a pile. And also, what do we do next? You know what I'm saying? And I love Clean Sweep. I love Peter Walsh. There are lots of experts that actually do this. Take everything out, sort it into a million piles, and then go through and declutter and decide what you need and what you don't. Like, how do I know how many shoes to get rid of unless I know all the shoes that I have? Stop it. Do you have a warehouse where you can sort everything? Like, if I took even everything out of my closet, I don't have enough floor space to sort this all. And then you've just created a huge mess. But the worst thing is, you're not thinking about if you even like this thing. You're thinking about what pile it should go in. You know what I'm saying? So here's better. If you love sorting because you're a bee and cricket, it's fine. It's fine. Sort into like a 4 sort method and you're only sorting stuff that's leaving. So think like Easter egg hunt. You're going to grab stuff. I see you all live. I'm going to get to your questions. I love you guys. So find things you're like, I know I don't really like this. Do I want to toss it, donate it, sell it, or does it just belong in another room? So we're leaving the stuff we like exactly where it is. We're Easter egg hunting for stuff to go and sorting that. But even then, friend, I'm going to encourage you to just do a yes no method. Just a yes no method. And here's what that looks like. Do I like this? Yes. Put it back. Do I like this? No. It goes in a go pile. Do I like this? Yes. It goes in the stay. Do I like this? Not really. It goes in the go. And then later we can sort the go. But now our brain only has to think, do I like something or not? And if I like it, you leave it where it is. And this is how you really edit your house and get stuff out very, very quickly without making a mess. And then we can go back and organize and probably declutter more when we've gotten a bunch out. Because let's get real, if we have a cluttered space, a little bit of putting things in piles and baskets is not what we need. We need like things to leave forever. And the easiest way to do that is to not sort. Don't say I like everything. Don't say you like everything because this is the thing. Have you looked? You probably I'm going to look right now. Look at this. This is a scrap piece of paper. Here's another scrap piece of paper. It's like this leads us to the next one. Okay, we're just jumping in with you're making a mistake here. Let's go. Let's go, friends. Mistake number 2, ignoring the root. It's never about the stuff. So, a lot of us, it's the idea of decluttering that stops us from even getting started because of all the lies we're telling ourselves about decluttering. Like, I like absolutely everything in my home and I use everything in my home. But those really come from something deeper. So, is it scarcity? Is it like trauma? Are you a perfectionist? So the idea of what if I make a mistake? What if I need this? Is it learned behavior? Did your parents hold on to everything and pride themselves on being like the keeper to all the stuff? For me, scarcity mindset was a big, big, big root. I was poor for a very long time. So I was like, oh, I don't have money to replace this. I, I, I can't just buy this again. Even though, look, I would never buy it again. It's not something I used or liked or needed, but in my brain, I was so stuck on the dollar amount for that. That was a root for me that I had to like rip out and really deal with. The other thing that was a big root for me was I made so many mistakes, like ADHD brain. I really didn't trust myself to make good decisions because I made so many bad decisions. So I didn't have the trust of like, do you actually need this or not? I don't trust myself to make even the smallest decision. Again, a root. I had to deal with all that before I could actually declutter. Yes, Carol, scared to make a mistake, guilt if you do it wrong. That is your root. And so identifying it and knowing that about yourself, and then thinking, what are ways that I can kind of heal this, right? Like practice doing things badly. Or for me, realizing that money is already spent. I'm not richer. For keeping it in my house, and I'm not any poorer for letting it go. And also, bro, you're never going to buy that again because you don't even like it. So I really had to like walk my fear down the line and like, what's the worst case scenario and start really small that way. But it's so important to definitely understand. Okay, mistake number 3. There is so many of you in here. I love all you. I'm going to get to all your lives, but listen, mistake number 3. We all do this, but crickets and bees take it to infinity and beyond. And that is overthinking and overcomplicating. You are thinking about where is all the donations going to go, and it's going to be so hard, and I'm going to be emotional, and I'm probably going to cry, and I love everything, and where will these things, where will I put it, and do I have enough boxes, do I have enough bags? It is not rocket science, my friends. You're not up in here doing brain surgery. We're just putting stuff in trash bags and boxes. It literally, look at my face. It is not hard. You're making it hard up here because your little brain's just going crazy pants. So, how do we overcome that? We literally grab a black trash bag. And this is a really good tip, and I've shared it a million times, but it helps overthinkers. You are going to find 21 things to go. You're just hunting, and that's like 21 things. Stop overthinking. Just try it. It can be trash. Do you have an old receipt in a purse? Run over there. Do you have, something, a dried out pen in your junk drawer? Run over there. Like this is exposure therapy, because we all need a little therapy. We're practicing shutting that part off of our brain, stop thinking and start doing. Less thinking, more doing. Less thinking, more doing. And so giving yourself a number to focus on of how many things you can find helps shut that off because you're turning it into a game. So you're focused on that game. So your brain's like, I'm being quiet over here because I have a purpose and a clear goal. It's very effective, okay? Super duper effective. Pick a number. Trust me, overthinkers, this will help you because right now you're thinking you're trying to like solve world peace or something. Babes, you're just putting stuff in a bag. That's it. There's no world peace up in here. There's no brain. It's It's just less thinking and more doing. And when the thinking starts, you got to give yourself a clear goal and try to do it as fast as possible. All right, mistake number 4. You're doing way too much all at once. Way too much all at once. Do you know how many times I've got an email from someone and they're like, I tried to declutter my closet, Cass, and I wanted to do it, and I've been putting it off because I was like, it's going to be so much work, and now my bedroom, looks like this, and I have no place to sleep, and I don't know what to do, and I'm so overwhelmed, and I'm like, why did you do that? Why did you try to do your whole room at once or your whole kitchen at once? Why are you like going from nothing to everything? What? No, it's one drawer. It's like, can I just find 5 shirts to leave? We're not taking it out. You don't have to take anything out to look for 5 shirts that you don't love, your least favorites, right? It it's the doing too much because we've overthought it, and then we're like, we get this little burst of motivation. We're like, today's the day I fix all of my problems all at once. That just leads to way more problems. And then we feel defeated and we don't do it again tomorrow because we haven't had that dopamine hit. We haven't had the success. We haven't had the like da 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 da. You feel bad throwing stuff away. Well, you can throw away trash though. That's a good place, like actual trash, because your home is not an alternative to a dumpster. And then take it to the donation center. Just donate everything. I mean, if you really feel bad, let it be the donation center's problem. And know that there are people who are going to be shopping at Goodwill or St. Vincent de Paul or wherever you donate your things to. And they're going to be so grateful to find your things at a very discounted price. And you're really sharing in an easy way for you. You're getting stuff out and you're sharing. And it's really great for them to get things at a low cost because stuff is expensive, my friend. Also, 100 years from now, everything you own will be in a dumpster. I can guarantee that. It's all going there eventually. You are not in control. So, why are you letting it ruin your home and your life today? Another easy thing to do, I have a free 30-day challenge. It's totally free. You guys, it's on YouTube. 5 minutes a day, and we only find 5 things. 5 minutes, 5 things. So this way, you never feel overwhelmed. I'm there with you, body doubling the whole time. It's pre-recorded, but pretend it's live, just like this is live. It's not live, but you can pretend it's live. And just, pick a spot and we'll do it together. And it's only 5 minutes. And it's only 5 things. And at the end, not only will you have a lot of stuff out of your home, but you will have rewired your brain and retrained your brain to actually enjoy letting go, for it to no longer feel scary and like, oh my God, this is how I feel sick. That's normal in the beginning to feel anxiety and uncomfortable. Like, that doesn't mean you shouldn't be doing it. That's a normal response because our entire lives, we are taught getting things and collecting things is what we should do, and that feels good. You're sad, treat yourself to retail therapy. Someone shows you that they love you by giving you stuff on your birthday and Christmas. Somewhere in our brain, we've been trained that material things equal love and happiness. But now our house is full and we don't feel happy or loved. We feel like suffocating and drowning and panic and self-hatred at our environment and unmotivated. Most people in cluttered homes struggle to like get up and shower most days. It's like we're slogging through life. So we have to retrain our brain that we don't actually need this thing we never use. And it actually feels so good and liberating to get it out of our house. But that's not going to happen overnight. You can't just flip a switch and train your brain differently. You have to do it through practice. Little tiny bits of practice. You have to prove to yourself that this actually is good and feels good. You don't just take my word for it. I mean, you can, but your brain probably won't let you. You've got to do the work. 5 minutes a day, just 5 things. Okay, last mistake, and then I'm going to get to your questions. Are you ready? I feel like this is the biggest mistake. Not scheduling decluttering into your calendar. You're just hoping and praying to get motivated one day. You're just like, maybe on a weekend I'll do a big declutter, and that day never comes. You know, how long have you said someday or tomorrow or next week or one day I'm going to declutter the kitchen or organize my bedroom or whatever? You got to put that in your calendar. You have to schedule like 15-minute declutter on this day at this time, set a reminder, know that it's coming. I recommend setting a reminder the day before to also mentally prepare you. And then in that moment, you're like, okay, I only have to spend 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes, but it's baked into your calendar. If it isn't, you'll never do it. Never. So, right now, what you can do is schedule, you know what? Why don't we? We're going to be done this before 11. Why don't you schedule for 11:15 right now? You get your phone, you open your calendar app, you go to today, you put thing and you set a meeting. Declutter for 5 minutes in my kitchen. Find 5 things in my kitchen to go. And you set it for 11:15, right? And then you boop and you've done it. You've made a meeting with yourself. So then when we're done chatting and you're feeling like a little hyped, then you're like, "Oh, the meeting." And you're not going to want to. You're not going to want to. But you're going to make yourself for 5 minutes. Just see what happens. Please just stop thinking and start doing. And I promise you, you're going to amaze yourself. All right. Are you ready? I'm going to get to your questions now. So think of a question you would like to ask. And then it's actually really helpful. I have like this, putting a question mark, smoke. I have no idea. Space Maker. Do you think Space Maker can work in bite-sized chunks? I don't know what Space Maker is. But you know what's very helpful is that you put a question mark so I can see. So let me know what Space Maker is. But I'm going to answer some of your questions. And then if you want to ask one, yeah, if you put a question, that will be help. But I have some pre-recorded ones that I'm going to get to. Lady B, you want to label. How do you do this? You don't have a printer. So my favorite way to label, honestly, is chalkboard peel and stick labels from Amazon. So you get sheets and sheets of them, you peel them off, and then you use a chalk pen to write. Because then with water, you can just wipe it and change it. Also, it's like so ridiculously fast and easy. And they come in all different sizes, big, small, little. And then you can practice your beautiful printing, even if it's not beautiful, who cares? Fast and easy way to actually label things. And they look good too. So that's what you should do. Let's jump into some other pre recorded questions. What are your organizing tips for ADHDers who need stuff to be visual or they forget it exists and they're stressed out by visual clutter? This is such a good question because I also feel like this works for all visual organizers. They're thinking, I actually don't like looking at clutter, but I need to see my stuff. So being a visual organizer doesn't mean you like clutter. It means you need a visual cue to that item and only your everyday important items. You don't have to see your underwear to know that you own underwear. You know? But you probably need to see the bill that has to get paid to remember that you have to pay the bill, or the calendar, or the reminder, or the things you use every day. You probably want to leave them out because you're going to leave them out anyways. So, setting yourself up a system for those really important things and giving it a home. My favorite thing to do is where you naturally pile, is to put like a little floating shelf above or even a tray so it's still visual, but it gives you a limit. Visual organizers need limits, they need to contain it so it doesn't spread. It's the spread that looks like clutter. Putting things in a tray visually looks neat and tidy. You can still see it, but it's stopping you from spreading everywhere. So that is the thing that I would definitely recommend. Like, think of things that you can do to make things more visual, but to not just have every surface randomly everywhere. The other thing that you can do is like color block. So, getting like bulletin boards that are all the same color or bins that are all the same color that are really labeled. So, behind me, there's like a lot going on, but because the color palette's kind of like, it feels not like clutter, even though there's a lot of stuff. Does that make sense? Super duper crazy helpful. Next question, real quick. You have a regular old school refrigerator, horizontal freezer on top, refrigerator on bottom. Your freezer is always a disaster. There's a shelf that you can adjust. How do you organize? So, this is my favorite way to organize a freezer like that. It's a tall, skinny bin because what you can do is give each bin a category. So, meat, maybe one for like French fries, maybe one for, I don't know what you have in your freaking freezer. Even taking things out of the boxes, then cutting off the cooking instructions, putting that in the bag, and just having the bags in there because it's vertical. It's taking advantage of that space, and you just pull this out to get what you need and easily put it back in. So you line these up, and then you can even like label it. You can use a dry erase marker and put like frozen veggies or whatever it is. And it takes advantage of all that stuff without stacking. You're stacking a bunch of boxes and there's stuff behind that's getting lost. And these are freezer safe. So you can find these, I don't know, like a tall, skinny thing. This is from the Container Store, but Walmart has a very similar brand. And these are not expensive. So this is what I would look for. Again, you're going to find, I love these bins. I use them everywhere. They have them. They're called the everyday bin, I think. Everything bin from the Container Store, but also Walmart in the US has a very similar clear plastic, tall, skinny bin, just like this. It's the best for so many spaces, but especially for a freezer. Okay, two more questions or three more, and then we're going to get to your questions. Make sure you put a little exclamation mark so you stand out from all the other comments. You own a small townhome in Miami. You don't have space for an entry drop off. Any suggestions on how to create one or create it somewhere else? So, absolutely, like, you could find another spot for it, but I'm gonna be real with you. I'm looking to see if I can find a photo of what I mean, and I don't have one. That's okay. Um, the shoe organizers from IKEA. They go on the wall, they only come out 4 inches, and even if you're not storing shoes here, they kinda, like, hinge down. Great for paper, great for book bags, like, great for purses, like, thin things that you can just drop in there. Your dog's, leashes and all the things that you like use when you're running out the door. You don't just have to use those for shoes. It kind of like hinges and goes up. So it looks just like part of the wall. It won't impede with your path if you're coming in. I love these for these side, the side splits home. So you come in and then there's like a staircase going to the basement and there's a staircase going upstairs. And there's literally not a closet or any room to put anything. Those hinged out shoe organizers, so good. You can even put some hooks above for coats or whatever, but they are great for not just shoes. So many things. Definitely recommend. Let's see. How do you handle multi-purpose rooms? Your bedroom has musical instruments, sewing supplies, and tools. Oh, these are so tough. First of all, I would say, is there any other spot in the house that you could dedicate a corner to a music space or like a workspace? If not, the best thing to do is zone. So each wall or each corner has a purpose. And zoning gives you a limit, but it also like contains things into one area. So you have one area that's just for music, one that's just for sewing. And then do you have a way of containing those things within there? Maybe an armoire, like a PAX unit from IKEA. Do you have hooks on the wall for your musical instruments? when everything's everywhere and mixed together, we don't have a clearly defined and contained home, we end up with the spread, the dreaded spread. So make sure that you're giving yourself a limit. Okay, my friends, if you have a question, I'm here for it. Let's see. Where to start to help a parent who's lost their wife? She was the organizer, but also the one to collect all the stuff. Oh, Tracy, I'm so, so sorry. Yeah, this is so tough. I think going in with kindness and helping and just starting with the yes no method, because that's going to take away a lot of the emotional stuff that comes with it. So, the yes no method, literally, this is how you do it. You ask the person, you pick something up and you're like, is this something you use and want to keep? Yes or no? And at first they're going to say yes, but eventually you're going to find something that they're like, actually, I don't really use that. And it can go in the go pile. And you're like, yes, so good. You immediately pick up something else. Is this something you want? Yes or no? And that way they're not thinking, first of all, they're not really doing anything but sitting and relaxing. So, a reluctant declutterer, that takes pressure off of them. And secondly, they're really like getting the mojo of how good it feels to clear stuff out. And that's like, I talk a lot about training your brain, but that's actually training their brain to like associate letting go with positivity, good feelings. They're feeling proud of themselves, and then you'll notice that they'll slowly start doing these things on their own. But especially if they've never done it and someone else has always their whole life been in charge of it, they honestly don't know how or where to start. So we always start with the yes no method. Okay. Ooh, you've made progress. You've helped on a live many years ago when you were burnt out going through boxes. Now you're done. Oh, so good. You just don't know what the next step is. How do you prioritize? Honestly, I think the best thing to do is like pick one space that you use the most and start there. The thing that's going to have the biggest impact. I like to prioritize my bedroom. Maybe start with your bedside table, maybe go to like a shelf in your closet and then just work through your entire closet, because your bedroom is the first thing you see when you wake up and it's the last thing you see when you go to bed. It is for you. And 9 times out of 10, it becomes a dumping zone because other people don't see it. And that's kind of like how we're treating ourselves. Like, ugh, well, you're not worthy of this space. I'll keep the living room nice for guests. I'll keep the kitchen nice for my family, but my bedroom, it's like, well, you don't deserve it anyways, kind of like it's ugh, it's so awful. So when we make it a priority, it it empowers us. It's like an act of self-love that motivates us to keep going and doing other spaces. Another space that I would recommend starting with is the bathroom. Your bathroom products, really streamlining the bathroom. It's also another neglected space, but it's a space for us. And we can make every morning easier. We can make like, stream. That's what organization is about. It's not about what it looks like. It's about how does it make our life easier and save us time. So it's a good place to practice. And then moving into like the kitchen, again, streamlining the kitchen, getting rid of all those extra gadgets that are just taking up space that were supposed to save us time, but now we can't find the freaking potato masher because our drawer is filled with so many freaking gadgets we never use. What? Stop it. Oh, Jamie, this isn't a question, but your 4-year-old loves you and has been learning to clean and declutter. Can we give him a shout out? Hello, Jamie's adorable 4-year-old. I love that you're like cleaning and decluttering and letting go. That's awesome. I'm proud of you. I hope you're proud of you. It's hard. And when little ones can do it, you're like going to be an expert when you're an adult. I love, love, love that. Okay. You like a lot of your clothes and it's hard to declutter them. Help, please. Yep. This could be a lot of identity clutter. When people really struggle with their clothing, identity clutter is coming in, which means you identify as someone who loves clothing and is like a fashionista and you like to look stylish. So then every piece of clothing feels like part of your soul and personality. So here's where you just take all of that out of the equation. Today at 11:15, you go in your closet and you turn every hanger backwards. Every hanger, you just take it off, turn it around, take a big stack of them, turn them around, turn them backwards. And then just go on living your merry life. As you wear clothes, put them back the normal way that you normally would. And 6 months from now, any hanger that's still backwards, that's telling you you don't like it and you don't wear it. So you don't have to decide like, ooh, do I like this? Does it fit me? Is this, bleh, what are you talking about? You've proved it to yourself, you know? The closet has made the decision for you and decided that that isn't something you actually wear. And bye. Makes it so much easier. Leanie, you're struggling to separate items into categories to organize and create homes for them. So many random things. How do you group things that seem so unrelated to anything else? So good. So for me, I use really broad categories for things like home. Okay. So home things will have all those random things that are related to my home, like the felt pads on the bottom. You know, the felt pads that you put on the bottom? Like, why do I have those? Or if you have a light fixture in your home and then you have an extender, this is what I have. And maybe one day you're going to lower the light, but you're not sure. Home. Also, you know, all those extra like vacuum parts and you have bags and you have I have literally a bin for vacuum and Roomba. And all that stuff goes into there. So stepping back and thinking big categories like tools and putting all the tools, the little Allen keys, maybe you've got extra bags of screws that goes in with tools, or fix it bin, or adhesive, which is going to have glue and maybe caulk and tape and anything that adheres things together. So I think you're overthinking this, and decluttering is the first step. So, doing the yes no method instead of making piles and categorizing so that you have dramatically less stuff to think about organizing. Because when you have way less stuff, the categories are going to be easier to find and kind of make because you're not dealing with a mountain of things. Moving to a new home. Congratulations. Best tips for setting up the new house so organization starts off right. You're not going to like this, Nicole, but the truth is, you have no idea the best way to function in your home until you're in your home really living it. So, what I would say is start with the kitchen and start with putting your dishes as close to the dishwasher as possible so that you can be as lazy as possible. Putting the things you use by the stove, like spices, if you use spices all the time, or your spatulas, your pots and pans as close as possible to the stove, but knowing that this isn't the forever home. So don't worry so much about making this perfect off the bat. We're embracing good enough because as you're living in this space, you're going to notice you're using it. You're like, actually, I stand here when I pack up lunches or leftovers, not where I thought I would stand. So then this makes the best spot to put the saran wrap and the food storage containers because this is where I stand. Or maybe I like to stand here when I bake, even though I thought I would be over there. So this makes the best place for a baking station. So, what I'm going to suggest to you is start with the spaces you touch every day first. So, kitchen, bathroom, bedroom, and then don't worry about making it perfect. Oh my gosh, this is so good, Ingrid. You shut your face. Use ChatGTP to categorize. Yes. Input a list of general items you are struggling to put into broad categories and make AI put them in macro lists. I love this. Do you know what else you can do? You can take a picture of your pile, upload it to Chat GPT, and ask Chat to help you come up with broad categories to organize that pile. Hey, have you ever uploaded a picture also of your space and say, What are some ways that I can organize this better? Or do you have any advice to like create zones in this space or organize this space? You'd be surprised. You can even say, "Hey, GPT, pretend you're Cass from Clutterbug and give me advice on how to organize this kitchen better." AI is I'm going to be out of work, friends, okay? It's not yet quite there, but it's getting close. Whereas like you will never need me again. It's pretty amazing. All right, my friends, I want to get to a few more of your questions and then we're going to wrap up because you've got work to do. Set that alarm and think about the things that you can do right now. Not watching another YouTube video, not watching another video online. What are you going to do to make yourself proud? Are you going to find 21 things to go? Are you going to take a picture and ask how to organize something and then do that thing? Now you don't need supplies. You don't need to buy anything. Organization does not have to cost money, less thinking and more doing today. Okay, Danielle, you're at the point in your decluttering where the decisions are no longer easy stuff, but you know you need to get rid of more. How do you keep going when every decision is harder now? Yeah, this is tough because we start with the easiest, really obvious stuff. And then it's like, okay, but now I have to start dealing with emotions. So, what I'm going to suggest, Danielle, is you pick one space that just seems to always feel messy and chaotic, the space that's bothering you the most, and then go to that space and really try using the no mess method. So Dana K. White from A Slob Comes Clean has this great no mess method. You've probably heard of it. So we're going to a space where it's like, why is this cluttered again? Probably because you have way too much stuff. So creating homes for that stuff, putting that stuff away is hard. It's just hard. It's not quick and easy to do it. So we're going to that space. You're like, this is out of control, picking something up that you use and like, okay, where would I look for this first? And then go to that spot and it will be full, friend. And then you're trading. So this makes it easier because you've got this thing in your hand that you like. And you're like, what do I like less than this? What's my least favorite thing? Because you're at the point now where everything's a favorite. You like everything, but you still have more than you have capacity to store and manage. So something has to go. That's just the reality of the situation. There's no magical organization tools that is going to give you more space. You need less stuff. So then we're like faced with, I have to pick my least favorite. And it's helpful when you have something more favorite in your hand. It's like, I use this and I like this more than this. Okay, this can go. But to just look in your drawer and say, what do I not like? That feels harder than identifying first the thing you really like. So here's another example, just really quickly. Maybe you craft and do a lot of arts and you love that. And you're like, I'm passionate about this. And you have like a pile of supplies. And you're like, but this needs a home. It can't just be out anymore. Is there a drawer, a cabinet, go to it that's like, this would be ideal for it to live here? And do I love the things that are in there more than my art supplies? The answer will be no. So then this has to go to create a beautiful space for this stuff I actually love. And when we think of it that way, it's like switching around instead of where can I create more space? What has to go? We're being more intentional. It makes it a lot easier to let go of good stuff because it's not as good and important as this thing is. Does that make sense? Okay. Love you guys so much. I have nothing to like sell you or anything today. I don't want to do that. This is what I want. It's not I don't want you buying one freaking thing today. I don't want you spending one dime. I don't want you doing anything other than something small to make yourself proud right freaking now. Right now, we're setting a meeting with ourselves and we're going and we're doing something. If you need ideas, let me know, but you're doing something right now. Can you find 21 items that leave your house? You hunt around for them like Easter egg hunting, except instead of chocolate, it's useless crap, you know. No, it won't be crap. Just stuff that you don't love as much as other things, your least favorite things, and you immediately take it to the garage or into your car or on your front porch, and it's gone forever, friend. We'll deal with how to dispose of it later. But it's like, goodbye, 21 things. Or are you just going to do 5 minutes? That's okay too, and find 5 things to go. Are you going to make one drawer more functional in your kitchen? You're not taking everything out. We're not making mistakes. You might feel motivated right now. Do not empty the entire contents of your kitchen onto the counters and floors and take. No, one small space at a time. Make a small difference today. You got this. Yes, you know what? You can share progress photos. I actually have a Facebook group called Organizing Advice for Clutterbugs, where everyone's posting their questions, they're offering advice, and they're sharing their progress. And I am in that group all the time looking at your photos. So I would love it if you shared it in there. I'm rooting for you, friends, because I know what it feels like to every day just look at your house and be like, "Ugh, so much to do. Oh, like why does it look like this? Why doesn't it stay clean? Why is this embarrassing? Why do I suck at this? Why do other people seem to be able to do this and I can't?" You're not bad at this. You have too much stuff. That's it. You're not failing. There's nothing wrong with you. You have too much stuff. And of course, you have too much stuff because we live in a world where all we're told is buy, 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 buy. It's going to make you happy. I love you. Here's a gift. Here's more stuff. You're feeling sad. Buy something new. It's your birthday. I'm going to give you stuff. Stuff equals happy. Stuff equals love. Stuff equals good. Buy more, buy more. It feels good. Buy, buy, buy. And then we're like, what? Our life is horrible and we're miserable and we're broke and we're drowning and we don't have room for living because the stuff doesn't actually make us happier or feel more loved. That was a lie. And now we've got to change the narrative in our brain and unbury ourselves to get to the real happiness, to really like get to a place where our home isn't another chore. It's an escape from the work and chores. It's a place that catches us at the end of the day and makes us feel good about ourselves. And the only way to do that is to have way, way, way less stuff. Okay. I love you guys so much. I'm so proud of you. I can't wait to see the things that you accomplish today, right now. Do something, and I'm going to see you guys next time. Oh, I got a story for you. Okay, real quick. For those of you who have stayed to the end. All right. So, I have an electric vehicle. It is a Tesla. I bought it before. Okay. I bought it before. I bought it way before. I feel like I just need to say that. But also, I don't really go a lot of places. So it's fine ish. It's been fine. Except, I just drove it to Toronto. I was on the Good Stuff with Mary Berg I did like a TV segment. So I drove it to Toronto. I stopped to charge it halfway. It was fine. I made it there. On the way back, I stopped to charge it and it said I would have 18% when I got home. And I'm like, that's not a lot, but I can make it. 18%? That does not take into account that I speed sometimes. And also, there was a snowstorm with a lot of wind. So I wasn't really paying attention. And then I look down and it says I'm going to have 1% when I get home. And I'm still like an hour and a half away. And there are no charging stations except one in a town where I live that's like 15 minutes from my house, but I'm like, and it says I'm going to have 2% when I get there. I'm like, I got to stop. Okay, I got to stop. But I'm listening to music and I'm chatting with Mara and blah, blah, blah. I miss the exit. And then I just hope and pray. I get home, friends, with 0%. I just pull in with a hope and a prayer and make it, because with an electric vehicle, if there's no like bringing a gas can, when you run out of a charge, you are SOL. So I feel like with my ADHD brain and my lack of planning, not the best vehicle for me. I'm just saying. It I was sweating. I was gripping the I thought for sure I was going to run out of battery on the highway. But so ADHD at its finest. It's exactly it. It's ADHD at its finest. Also, would I have bought that car in hindsight? Obviously not, friends. But like, I bought it a long time ago because I'm like, oh, it's electric. It's good for the environment. It's going to be great. Mistakes were made. Let's not get political. Mistakes were made for lots of reasons. But I thought I'd share that with you. Okay. Love you. They do need electric charging stations along the side of the road. And missing the exit is classic Cass. It's all good in the hood. I don't know how I get into these situations. I know exactly how I get into these situations. My brain is not firing on all cylinders. But you know what? That's okay. Tools and systems, friends. So go, my love bugs. Go do something amazing. And I'll see you guys next time.